Hi there everyone, it's Misty here from TheJollyFatElf. Welcome to day 10 of the 12 Days of Elfmas. I'm so glad that you joined me today. So in today's video, I'm actually watercoloring. I don't think I've done this ever on my channel, not with like honest to God watercolors. So I am using a set of shimmer watercolor paints that I will link from Amazon down below. I don't remember the name of them at all, and I can't read the writing on the container. So I'm going to be watercoloring using metallic paints on black paper. So I'm really excited to share this with you. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't started, make sure you go back to the intro video so you understand all of the requirements in order for you to win either a daily giveaway or the grand prize giveaway that will happen on January the 8th. So yeah, let's head over to my craft table and I'll share with you this adorable card using metallic watercolors. So I'm actually going to be watercoloring on black paper today. I don't remember where this paper came from. I've had it for a couple of years, but if you just search black watercolor paper, you may stumble upon it. I do know this is like 110-pound weight. It may be a little bit heavier. I'm using the collage stamp from Anthony's. I'll also be using his new Christmas sentiments as well. He is having free shipping in the US until New Year's, I believe. So make sure you check him out. So I stamped that in Versamark, and now I am coating it with a white embossing powder. We're basically going to be doing an emboss resist, which is where the embossing repels the pigment or the water, and then you're just left with, it just makes it easier to watercolor because you're not trying to stay within the lines, because it basically does it for you. There will be a couple of times if you'll see that I had way too much water, and then I had to go back over it a second time or pick it up with clean water, etc. So I'm just heating this with my heat tool. The white mat you see is I want to say it's the mixed media mat or the watercolor mat from Waffle Flower. They have this large one, which was the original one that I picked up, probably 2 years ago now. And I know they have a small one. I think the small one is supposed to keep your paper still, and maybe this large one is too. But I went ahead and taped down the edges. And then I pulled in a piece of paper towel to dry my brushes on. These brushes just came from Amazon as well. I'll try to remember to link them, but if I don't, just get whatever is in your price range, basically. So I am using a dropper, and you can see I'm using a lot of colors. Not pictured are a deep purple and an aqua blue. And so these are like watercolor cakes. They're not liquid watercolor, so you have to kind of activate them with water. So I have a cup of clear water on the left, which is going to be what I use to clean my brush, etc. And then I used a dropper to drop water into each of the watercolor pans. Fun fact, that coffee mug is what we got for free when we bought our Challenger. I drive a purple car, if you didn't know. So like I mentioned, I will link these watercolors. You can't really get a whole lot of dimension with these watercolors, so you're not going to see me doing a whole lot of blending. What you are going to see me doing is going back after it dries and adding another layer of color. It's really hard to see because of the angle and because they're so shiny, but once we get to the end, you'll be able to notice. So I am going to go ahead and turn on some music and let you guys watch just watch me paint, because that's basically all I'm doing. I'm not doing anything fancy. Your question of the day is, have you ever watercolored? So don't forget, make sure you answer the question of the day in the comments. Record the word of the day on your own. Please don't post that in the comments, just the question of the day. Okay, so I'm going to play some music and I'll catch back up with you in just a couple of minutes. So I'm going to add a finishing touch to the present by adding a bit more of that iridescent white. And I'm going to call that done for this card. So I really love how it turned out. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my heat tool to dry this down. You can let it sit and come back to it later if you wanted to, but I really wanted to go ahead and finish making this card. And that's the great thing about this mat is it's also heat resistant. So you can see here just how shiny it is once it dries. So I am bringing in a pre-made card base and one of the stamps, like I said, from Anthony's stamp set. And I'm using, I think this is Passionate Pink by Gina K Design. To stamp the Marion Bright. I felt like I wanted it in pink, so that's what I did. I'm going to take my trimmer and I'm going to trim around the edges of this card layer. So I think it ended up being 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I think that's what the final measurement was, but I'm not showing that. I apologize, but because I need to be able to see it with my own eyeballs. So that's what I did. And then I couldn't decide on a glitter paper. I couldn't decide if I wanted to use this purple, if I wanted to go ahead and pull in red. And I actually liked it a bit better on the red. You guys will have to let me know in the comments down below which one you liked. So I'm going to cut down this piece of glitter paper, but I'm not going to adhere the card layer to this entire piece because it's a huge waste. So I'm going to bring in a die. Any rectangle die will do it. You can also do this with your trimmer. I am awful at that, so I'm just going to take advantage of a die. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. That way, that middle piece I have that I can use again, and we just have a frame to go around the outside of the card. Because it would be just a waste if we didn't do that. I'm adhering this with liquid glue, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Scotch mounting foam for the card layer. You're going to want something that's pretty sticky to stick to this glitter paper, because although it doesn't shed, it's still a different texture. And there you can see all the wrappers from the watercolors. So once I get that adhered, that's it. I don't add any extra shimmer because this is already really, really shiny, but I love how this image turned out. So yeah, so like I said, let me know in the comments down below if you've ever watercolored. It's definitely something that I hope we can do more in the new year. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I can't believe we only have like one more video after this one, I think. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow for another day in the 12 Days of Elfmas. Bye for now.